Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Adventures of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes us better. Today, we are talking about foods that are indeed making us better. Guys, we human beings, just like any other animal, we are shaped and formed and changed by the foods that we eat. We depend on the foods that we eat. Who we are, how we are built, depends on the foods that we put in our body. And it seems as the complexity of any organism grows, so do its nutritional and other requirements to support health and performance and well-being. And so when it comes to human beings, there are quite a few minerals, vitamins, and nutrients that we need in order to maintain healthy and optimal function without disease, without what I like to call energy disease, when you feel fatigued and low on energy all the time, and when our brain is just not working the way it's supposed to be working, or our memory, our hormones, our mood go out of balance. All of that might be caused or somehow changed and depend on the nutrients that we are getting from our foods or not getting. That is the case for majority of people, as the research and the studies show that most of the people in today's world are deficient in some key nutrients. And what it means basically, it means that most of the population in our world is not performing at its best. So you might be one of those people. I certainly was one of those people. I'm not even sure I am 100% optimal right now, but all the knowledge that I gather all the time by learning and studying almost every single day, I put it into practice. And so I'm in a better place than a lot of people. And hopefully, guys, you, while listening to this podcast, will learn things, will learn about how to organize your meals, your nutrition, so you too are in a better place and can help others to get into a better place when it comes to health, performance, and general well-being. Our energy, again, our mood, our memory, the way we show up for our work, our creativity, our output, what we put out into the world. It all depends at the end of the day on how we manage ourselves. We talked about self-coaching, self-management yesterday. But it also depends on that simple thing, our food that we put on our plate every day. So today we are talking about the most nutritious, most powerful foods that, if you have an opportunity, you should be putting on your plate regularly, because those foods, they deliver vital, essential for human life and well-being and performance nutrients in the most effective and efficient way. So, compared to our ancestors, previous generations, we're in a much better place, because if you put your mind to it, you can create really amazing meal plan, eating plan that will deliver to you so many nutrients that you might astonish yourself about what you're capable of doing, because our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they didn't have that luxury to choose what to put on their plates daily. We do. But for some twisted reason, we decided to put a lot of crap on it instead of foods that actually improve how we live, perform, and function. So you're about to learn today, guys. So once again, I probably taught it through many episodes on this podcast in some form or the other. But today we're talking about those foods. There are just a few of them that deliver a lot of nutrients per bite, per calorie. So let's talk first about our body's major antioxidants, basically the things that protect our cells from damage that we get from our environment all the time, like radiation, different toxic substances, just the time and oxygen and rusting, all of that is happening every single day, even when we are sleeping. So we need these antioxidants to protect our bodies from rusting, from our DNA degrading, creating code that will create faulty proteins and things, mechanisms that will not work well in our body. So we need antioxidants for a lot of things, to look good, to feel good, and to stay well for many years ahead. And so body's two major antioxidants, there are many of them, vitamin C and vitamin E. And so there are a couple of simple foods that you can eat daily and that are not expensive, that are available in most places in the world. You eat them and you get all the vitamin C and all the vitamin E that you need. So vitamin C, bell pepper. We talked a lot about bell pepper when it comes to immunity and vitamin C. So bell pepper, half of medium-sized bell pepper, red bell pepper, because the color also matters, will give you about 120-150% of your vitamin C, depending on the size of that bell pepper and whether you're a bigger human being, a female or a male. The bigger you are, usually the more antioxidants you need and the more vitamin C you need. So half to a whole bell pepper, the more the better. When you eat it every day, you're gonna get a lot of vitamin C. Also, other foods have vitamin C for sure, of course, strawberries, oranges, kiwis, and things like broccoli and Brussels sprouts and a lot of kale and all the other vegetables. But bell pepper has the most per bite per calorie, times the most. So it's not just a little bit more, it's actually a lot more. So bell pepper, red had the most, orange a little bit less, yellow less, and green the least from all the bell peppers. But still they are high in vitamin C, low in calories, and just fun to eat. So bell peppers for vitamin C. Vitamin E, the richest source, whole food source, is sunflower seeds. So eat about 45 grams of sunflower seeds and you get almost probably all the vitamin E you need, as I believe, you're gonna get 105% of your vitamin E. Just checked. So sunflower seeds, raw sunflower seeds. Also some of vitamin E you can find in a lot of different fatty foods like avocados, like olives, like olive oil, but sunflower seeds are the champions by far, by many folds again, compared to other foods. So bell peppers, sunflower seeds, eat them daily. And speaking about seeds, guys, you want to include, if you have the ability, 30 grams, that's what I recommend, 30 grams or 1 ounce of sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and hemp seeds, because those three seeds, they are higher in many nutrients compared to all the other nuts and seeds, in most minerals. So sunflower seeds is higher in zinc, for example, or pumpkin seeds higher in zinc, hemp seeds higher in B vitamins, and also they have complete set of essential amino acids. So hemp seeds are amazing for B vitamins, pumpkin, and a lot of also minerals and folate. Pumpkin seeds for zinc and different minerals again. And sunflower seeds are especially high in vitamin E, but also have a lot of minerals. So 3 ounces, 30 of all of them, or 1 ounce of each, 30 grams of each. That's what I recommend for many of my clients, and I eat them almost every day myself. So bell peppers, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds. The only mineral that those seeds are not the highest in is calcium, and for that you might want to include another mighty seed, sesame seeds. So for example, 1 ounce or 30 grams of sesame seeds will give you approximately 20% of your calcium. So that's quite an amazing amount. And calcium, guys, it's quite hard to find in most foods, except for canned seafood, like canned sardines or canned herring or any canned salmon, any canned seafood that was canned with bones will have in those bones quite a lot of calcium. Why canned? Because when that fish is canned, it's cooked in a way so it makes the bones soft and you can actually eat them, and that's where the calcium is. When you buy fish frozen or fresh and you cook it, you don't cook it to that extent with that kind of pressure, so the bones never become soft, and that's why you just throw them away and you never get any calcium from that. But when you buy canned seafood with bones, like again sardines, salmon, herring, or other fish, you're gonna get quite a lot of calcium in that, and this is actually the richest source of calcium because of the bones of those small fishes are the richest source of calcium. So sesame seeds and canned seafood, but canned seafood has much more. Like one average can of canned sardines, for example, will have about 70-80% of your daily calcium requirements. When it comes to calcium also, guys, if you eat hard cheeses, like for example Parmigiano Reggiano, so about 30-40 grams of that cheese will give you 40% of your calcium too. Other dairy products like yogurt or milk are not actually that high in calcium, so cheese, a little bit of cheese is your highest bet for the calcium, guys. So to recap a little bit, bell peppers for vitamin C, sunflower seeds for vitamin E, and in general pumpkin seeds, quite high in zinc and a lot of other minerals. Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds for B vitamins, for some folate, for your essential amino acids. So those seeds are quite amazing, and sesame seeds for calcium, but for calcium especially canned seafood and hard cheeses. Now let's talk about vitamin A. As we learned, it's important, so important for our immune system, but also for our vision and for so many other functions in our body. And statistics show vitamin A is one of those vitamins that most of the people are chronically deficient in, and chronically means all the time. And it's really easy actually to eat it in foods. You can get actual vitamin A that we need, or retinol, from eating liver. Like you make one liver meal a day, or not a day, a week, and you're gonna get all the vitamin A you need per week, because our body can store vitamin A in our fat tissue. And so when you eat, for example, 8 ounces of liver one day a week, you don't have to eat it for another 7 to 10 days, depending what kinds of liver. Sometimes it's even more, so you don't need that much. But then, for example, carrots are quite an amazing source of beta carotene that most healthy digestive systems of healthy adults will turn into vitamin A that we need, provided that you also eat some fat like olive oil with it. And cooked carrots will provide you more vitamin A. Per 3-4 ounces, about 120-140% of your vitamin A per day. But if you choose to eat carrots, you will have to eat them pretty much every single day. But when it comes to liver, one meal a week and you're done. So that's when it comes to vitamin A. Another important nutrient, vitamin D, vitamin D3. It's very important. It's crucial for our health, for our bone health, for our immune system, for so many processes. And a lot of people supplementing with them choose the supplements, and it's not your fault. It's just the way supplements work. These supplements work. Your body might not be actually able to use that supplemental vitamin D3 very efficiently. So I always recommend to get it from sun or from foods. And there are just a couple of foods that are rich, that have meaningful amount of vitamin D3. So those are herring, so fish, herring. 100 grams or 3-4 ounces of herring will give you 120-140% of your vitamin D. Then salmon, about 6-7 ounces of salmon will give you the amount of vitamin D you need per day, D3. And then cod liver or cod liver oil will also give you a lot of vitamin D, depending on the, for example, oil or the liver itself, but usually somewhere around like tablespoon, a couple of tablespoons will give you all the vitamin D you need. So herring, salmon, cod liver, or cod liver oil for vitamin D. The next one, nutritional yeast. It's not it's not really whole foods, not really supplement, somewhere in between, I guess. It's basically yeast that was fed on some sort of fiber, usually, or not so much fiber, but some sort of sugar, like maybe beet molasses or something like that. So yeast, they feed on it, and then they create this kind of like powder that has cheesy flavor, and that powder is quite potent. It usually has quite a lot of folate and almost all the B vitamins, and if you just eat 3 tablespoons a day, believe me guys, your energy producing system will work much better, and you will avoid all the deficiencies in B vitamins that most of people have these days. So nutritional yeast, 3 tablespoons a day. I highly recommend it for folate and for B vitamins specifically. Next one, guys, omega-3 fatty acids. A lot of people are consuming too many of the wrong kinds of fats. We talked a lot about the wrong kinds of fats last week, but specifically, we all need omega-3 fatty acids for our brain and cell membranes to function properly. And especially for our brain, we need specific marine omega-3 fatty acids. Now, of course, you can get some supplements like algae omega-3 oil, or omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish or fish oil. But as with all the supplements, we absorb those fatty acids better from food sources. And in order for you to get the meaningful amount of what you need, it's still highly questionable how much exactly we need, and how much we need to prevent any source of negative health consequences, and what is actual optimal amount for a human being. What I try to do every single day, I eat a tin of canned sardines, because they also rich in calcium, they also rich in collagen and phosphorus and magnesium and so many other minerals, plus great source of protein. So sardines, I eat them every single day, and they provide more than I need. I forgot what the percentage but it's quite high for all the omega-3 fatty acid that we actually need. So I eat a can of sardines every day, even half a can, I believe, will do that. For omega-3 fatty acids, marine omega-3 fatty acids, beside fatty fish, you can eat things like mussels, for example, but basically, seafood, because those are marine omega-3 fatty acids. Or you can supplement. But again, supplements, number one, it's omega-3 fatty acids, they are highly unstable, and so they get oxidized very easily. And a lot of supplements, they become pro-inflammatory, and they go rancid, basically go bad, and so they are not good for your health anymore. And second thing, our body absorbs and uses omega-3 fatty acids better from food. Of course, fish oil or algae oil still work, but whole foods work better. So that's what you want to understand. And again, omega-3 fatty acids, you probably want to eat at least 3 times a week, 3-4 ounces of fatty fish. That is an absolute minimum from my perspective, and from all the knowledge that I gathered, this is an absolute minimum. So 3-4 ounces 3 times per week at least. Next couple of things, we are almost done here, guys, so stay with me. And by the way, guys, when we finish, re-listen to this episode, and next time when you go shopping, put those foods on the list. Those foods, again, and nutrients, they will improve how you feel every single day, how much energy you have, how much vitality and optimism and creativity you have every day, how much better your brain works, and how much better neurons fire in your brain, how much better your memory works, and so many things will improve when you give it, for example, a month, and you consume all these foods on a regular basis. Your productivity, your optimism, your performance will skyrocket. Believe me, guys. So now to two other things that I'd like to talk about today. Organ meats, meaning mostly for most of us, what we can get realistically these days: liver, sometimes chicken hearts, sometimes things like cow's tongue, but specifically liver. It's nature's superfood. It's rich in B vitamins and A. Some livers more or less rich in iron, and there are folate, the richest source of folate ever on earth. So liver and other organ meats, they're super high in nutrients, and at least 1 meal a day, guys, focus on liver and other organ meats. They have a lot of nutrients, and they will address a lot of deficiencies that you might have or develop. And also, if you are someone who is in charge of food in your household, maybe for your whole family, maybe for your girlfriend or your boyfriend, make sure that you share with them part of that organ meat meal, guys. And the thing about organ meats is, once you know how to cook it, once you know how to cook your liver, it's quite tasty and delicious, and you absolutely love it, and your body will thank you for that, for eating that. So organ meats, include them at least in one meal abundantly, 1 meal a week. And then a couple of other things actually. Vegetables. Don't forget to eat at least a pound of vegetables every single day. I'm not kidding, guys. A pound of vegetables. The more green and colorful vegetables you eat, the better. And here I mean non-starchy vegetables, like how much starch you eat, it's your own decision. But non-starchy vegetables, eat a pound of them to get a lot of nutrients, other nutrients like potassium, magnesium, iron. There are so many, manganese, copper. So vegetables, having in your meal plan every day a lot of vegetables, a bulk, most of your food intake by volume should be those vegetables that are full in nutrients. Nutrients super important for our health, our heart health, our blood pressure, our blood sugar, so many things. So include them on a pound every day, and those are Brussels sprouts, broccoli, spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, bok choy, Swiss chard, all the greens that you can find that, some are more tender that you can use in salads, some are more hard that you need to saute or steam for a little bit. Then also, of course, those like with a lot of color, like bell peppers, like carrots, all the vegetables that have a lot of colors, guys, fresh and cooked in different ways. So a pound a day, that's it. You need to get the bulk of your nutrition, pound at least, more better. And the last thing is seafood. At least a couple of days a week, guys. 1 day a week include organ meats. A couple of days a week include a lot of seafood, especially things like oysters, mussels, fatty fish like sardines, salmon, herring, maybe crab meat, if you manage to find it. Because, for example, in most places where I travel to, it's quite either like hard to find or super expensive. Like where I am right now, it's like, one crab, $100, kind of like, I don't know, for special occasions, but not every day for me at least. But yeah, oysters, whelks or sea snails, mussels, those are super rich in minerals, especially minerals that are hard to find in other foods like zinc. You eat one oyster, you get all the zinc you need. Sea snails also, if you know how to cook them, they are amazingly delicious and also super rich in B12, in zinc, in copper. Same goes for mussels. They're rich in omega-3s, in quite rich in zinc, in copper, in B12, like they're the champions. So those foods, seafood, are amazing. So maybe next time you order in for the whole family, order a seafood platter with all this variety of different seafoods. That's again, seafood is your superfood too. So seafood, organ meats, vegetables, a pound a day. Those are amazing things to have in your diet every day, and you'll prevent and address so many deficiencies that so many of us are facing these days. So quick list to recap: vitamin C, bell peppers, vitamin E, sunflower seeds. You want to include other mighty seeds like pumpkin seeds, like hemp seeds. For calcium, sesame seeds. For calcium, you want to be eating canned seafood like sardines or salmon or herring. For calcium, you might wanna eat some hard cheese. For vitamin D3, you want to be eating herring, salmon, cod liver or cod liver oil. For B vitamins and folate, nutritional yeast. For omega-3s, 3 times a week at least, 3-4 ounces of fatty fish like sardines, like salmon, like herring, like mackerel. Organ meats, at least one big meal a day for vitamin A and B vitamins and folate and other nutrients. You want to be eating seafood, a lot of seafood, at least once a week for zinc, for B12, for copper, for also magnesium, phosphorus, so many other minerals. And every day you want to be eating a pound of green and colorful vegetables for all the other nutrients that we eat. If I remember correctly, it always like goes out of my mind. We have 13 essential vitamins and about 16 essential minerals. Some are essential, some are called micro minerals. We still need them, but in smaller amounts. But we need, as you can see, about 26 essential nutrients that we need to be getting regularly. Like some, like vitamin A, can be stored in our fatty tissue for up to several months. So if you eat like a whole bunch of liver, your body will store that vitamin A, and then you don't have to think about it for a long time. But a lot of nutrients like vitamin C, we need to eat every day, preferably several times a day, because it's water soluble and it's being fleshed out of our bodies. So a lot of things, guys, we need. So these foods will help you to deliver a lot of nutrients without you thinking about it. So next time when you go shopping, put these foods on your list and shop for them in bulk. That's what you should stockpile on. And if you need a list, like a list, maybe PDF file that you can print out, reach out for me. I don't have it yet, but if you reach out, I'm gonna make it for you and for other people as well. So thank you guys for tuning in today, for taking a little bit more care of your nutrition, for learning it and spreading the knowledge and making our food system better, creating food system that supports our health on an individual and planetary level. So you're doing a great job, guys. Thank you for this. Share this episode with one other person, please, so this knowledge spreads faster and better. Re-listen, put it into practice, share this episode, and as usual, guys, till next time, eat better daily.